So now this blog header theme is actually going to change different options on the pages. So if I click About here, you'll see this background image. We can actually change that to whatever we want it to be. And then you see here, that's the title and the tagline. It's going to be on every page. So I'm going to go ahead and change up their image here and add a new one. So if I go to select files here and I upload the images I want to use, I'm going to do all of my site images. You can just do one at a time. It's totally up to you, but I find this to be easier. Just wait for them to load. Okay, now I'm going to see which one I want to use for my headers. So let's see. I'm going to pick that one and see what it looks like. Then they let you crop it, so move it to the middle here. And then I'm going to crop the image. And that's going to do a kind of a crop. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Okay, let's not do that one. Let's add a different one. So if I go to add new, I can pick a different one. Let's try out this one. This one looks good. I'm going to skip the cropping this time. Oh, there we go. I like how that looks. Okay, so that's going to be my image on all my pages as the header. So you can save or go ahead and just click the back arrow, whatever you want to do. Next section is going to be the menus, which we already set, so we're fine with that. And now we're just going to go ahead and go to the next section. Jumbotron. Okay, we have to navigate back to the home page, so I'm going to click the logo to get back since I have to fix my menu here. So all the sections are going to be edited now, and they're actually in order over here, so it's really nice. You have like the Jumbotron, then the About, and it's really cool that it all goes in order. So this Jumbotron, as you can see, is this big background image, this big title section. First, you're going to change the image to whatever you like. I think I'm going to do, let me try these out. So that one doesn't really work because it can't see the menu, so I'm going to try a different one. Let's try maybe this one. Still can't really see it very well. So let me just go ahead and I'm just going to make them all match. So if I go back and I change my image and I click the one that I had before, I think that one will be best. Let me try this one. No, definitely not. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to pick the one with the desk. That's for me. So pick the one that you like the best, and you can try out as many as you need. And then you're going to go ahead and scroll down. And that's going to allow you to change the different titles in different parts of the section. So you see like these different words here. You can go ahead and erase those. So I'm going to write, learn to freelance. Now if you notice, it doesn't put a cute yellow period unless you put it in the other sections. So if you put it in another section, the top two, it gives you this cute yellow accent. So I'm going to do it like that. And then you're going to do a little description underneath of what your business is. So I'm going to go ahead and make one up real quick. Alrighty, so now that I've done that, you can go ahead and see where it's reflecting on the site. And if you scroll down, we'll go ahead and make those buttons a little different. So you can make the buttons say anything you want and link to any of the pages on your site. So for the first one, I'm just going to do like an About Us, or I could be more clever. Let's think. Who we are. Okay, and then I'm going to link it to our About page. So I'm going to do thefreelancecrew.com or whatever your domain is, and then /about or whatever your page is called. And so then I'm going to do for the other one, I'm going to do what we do. That'll link to our services page. So I'll go ahead and do thefreelancecrew.com /services. And then that'll link to that page. So there we have it. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back and edit the next section. So this is the next section here, and it goes in order. So we're going to do the About page. Well, it's just a section, not a page. So you can choose not to show a section, but we're going to want this one. There'll be some other ones we change. So again, I'm going to make this a little more clever. Let's change it to what we do. No, that doesn't make sense. Who we are. No, Sorry, I'm picky. A little about us. Okay, let's do that. And then this is, again, where you're adding the little description underneath. So whatever you want to add here, I'm just going to type in a little blurb really quick. Okay. Let's just do one more little. Okay, so there's my little blurb here. And then you're going to look over here, and that's where it is. So it's doing this live, which is really nice. Now I'm going to show you a little bit trickier part, but really easy, how to do that section there. So you go to the next section, the About Sidebar, and you go to Add a Widget. And it'll give you all these different widgets. We're focusing on the LD widgets here. And so they're pretty self-explanatory, but this first one we're going to do skill, sorry. We're going to go ahead and go down to skill. And that's going to be these separate ones we do here. You can add as many as you want, but I'm going to stick with the 3. So once you add your own, it's going to delete the demo one, and you're going to start to add your own things. So for example, the title is going to be what the skill is. So for me, I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to delete it and write business creation, just maybe one of the skills of my business, whatever yours may be. Then you write a random percentage. You do like more of what your business does. So I'm going to do 90. And then you can do any of these icons. So for example, if I did this, it would show up next to the title. So if you feel like doing any icons, you could scroll down, find something that might work for you. There's a ton to choose from. If I choose briefcase, it'll show a little briefcase. I don't really like that, so I'm going to go ahead and not use one. And then, of course, you can change up the colors. You don't want black, usually, unless you're doing black. So I'm going to do like this blue color for this one. So there's number 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with number 2. Add a widget, go down to skill, and change up the information. So for this one, I'm going to do customer service, and then put the percentage of what my business does. So I'll say it does 65%. Skip the icon and change the color. I'll change it maybe to this yellow color. Well, that doesn't really match. So maybe I'll do a darker yellow. Okay. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to add one more skill here, and I'm going to go ahead and do, let's just do freelance work. All right. And then the percentage we'll call 70. No, let's do 80. Okay. And then color, I'm going to go ahead and pick purple. I don't really like the purple. Let's try red. So it's really nice. So I can save it, and it's just live right in front of us, which makes it so nice to test out the different things you want to do. So it looks really cool. Let me just change this middle one here, since I can see what it looks like. There we go. Perfect. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save. So now that section is completely done. And of course, we're going to go ahead and scroll down. And as you'll see, the next one is projects. If you click on projects, I'm not really going to use this section, so I'm going to not show it for now. Again, we're making a really simple site. So the next one's going to be testimonials. Now for this one, it's a little bit tricky because you need that Jetpack plugin we talked about, but it's a little complex for this video, so we're going to go ahead and not use this altogether. So it's going to be very simple. So of course the section after that, as you see, is services. So we're going to definitely use this one to kind of flow with the rest of the site. So I'm going to go ahead and change the wording a little bit again. So for the title, I'm going to say, here's some of what we do. And then just add like a little blurb. It's going to have a services page, so we just want to make it like simple as possible so people still need to go to our services page. So let's just add a little blurb right here. I'm going to leave that one actually. So now we're going to do the same thing, add a widget, and this time we're adding a service widget. So it's very easy. So if we change up the title here, you can see it disappeared, the old ones. So now we're going to add the title of the service that we do. So for example, I might do some consulting. So let's write some consulting in there. And then this one I do want to use the icons. So if I look in the drop down, let me try to find something that goes with consulting. So maybe that briefcase one, or something with a person. Maybe I'll find a person one. Let me go ahead and scroll down, see if I find the person one. I don't see a person in here. So sometimes you can find like a user. So let me go down a little bit more, see if they have a user. Aha, here we go. So that'll look like a little person for me. There we go. So there's my consulting. Again, you add some text of what the service is, maybe a brief sentence or two here. Okay, so once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and see it live over here. And then you're going to change the colors again to match the other colors. So I'm going to just switch it up, maybe do red first. So there you go. It's super easy and live. And so of course I'm going to add 2 more of the widgets. So I'm going to add those really quick. And of course just add whatever your services are, whatever you want to add here. Keep it simple and eye-catching. I'm going to just add 1 more service, of course, to make it match. And then I will be all ready to go to the next section. Alright, so now that I've saved that, you can see it looks really nice with the other section here. And then we're going to go ahead and go back so that we can edit the next section. So go ahead and go up and click the arrow. Okay, now we have a latest news section. This is for if you have a blog. It's really handy, but we're not going to have a blog in this site, so we're going to not show that section either. And the next section is actually really interesting. It's called a counter, and it's a really cool element. So if you go to counter, the first thing you do is general. Okay, so yeah, we want to show this. And then we go to background. This lets you put any background image you want here, and you can also do a color if you want. I'm going to do an image, and I'm going to pick, let's see if this one looks cool. No, I don't like that. Let's do this one. Don't like that either. I'm going to do this other computer one. Okay. So now I have this cool computer background here for mine. And then you're going to go back and you're going to do the counter sidebar. So again, add a widget and navigate to the LD counter widget. And this is going to erase the old one and allow you to add a new one. Now, let me just show you. Let me go back real quick. Let me delete this. If I delete it, it'll show me the default. So what they did is projects, clients, and coffees. They spelled it wrong, but so we're going to do our own version. So whatever counter we want to do. I'm going to stick with projects. I like that one for number 1. And then you're going to do the numbers. So this is what it counts from, and then what number you want it to go to. We'll leave that at 1, and then this one's whatever number you want it to be. So of course, if you have a certain amount of projects, you can put those in. I'll do 476, and then this is the speed and the refresh. We don't have to worry about this. It's just changing the time. So we'll leave that, and we'll add another counter. I'm going to do clients again. I liked that as well. So there's that. Leave it at 1, and let's change the number. That seems like too little. Let's make it a bigger number. How about 410? Okay. And then, of course, we're going to do one more. So I'm going to do pizzas instead of coffee because I don't really like coffee. So we'll do pizzas, and then we'll go ahead and put the number in there. It's a lot of pizza. I hope I don't eat that much. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and save that, and our little counter will be saved. So you can check that out live. It's really cool. The image in the background stays in place, so it has this cool parallax effect. It's really nice. So it's a cool extra little image they give you. And the last thing here, well, second to last, we're going to go ahead and edit the team. This is going to be the people that you work with, obviously, for your business. So you can change the little thing here. I'm going to change this to meet the crew. That's where the freelance crew. Add in a little blurb here. Okay, now that I've added that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the team sidebar, which of course is the different sections of the people. So let me go first and just save these because I don't have images to use. So I'm just going to save theirs and use theirs really quick. So let me do that. But I'll still be showing you how to make them, of course. So I'm going to add a widget, and this one's called not team, but person. So you go to LD person, and then of course you're going to just add in your person, whoever your crew member is. So for example, I'll just name this guy Matt, and then when I go to upload, I'm going to add my images here because I don't have one to use. Of course, you'll have your own team members to use here. And I'm going to use this guy. Okay. And then you're going to put their position, so what they do here. I'll say he's the CEO. Now let's do head freelancer. That sounds cooler. Then we're going to do his little entry, which is just like a little blurb about him, what he does, whatever your team member does here. Trying to think of what to add here. Loves his work. Okay, and okay. All right, after I do that, I'm going to add in, you can add in their own social URLs. I'm going to do hashtags to fill in the social links just to show you what they look like. And then, of course, you change the color. So I got my little color scheme going. So I'm going to make him orange. And there you go. There's his little section. So you can save, or you can just go ahead and add the next one. And go ahead and add as many people as you have. I'm going to do 3 again to keep everything consistent. And then once I'm done with that, I'll move on to the next section. Okay, now I'm all done, so I'll save that, and here we are. So we have our really cool little team member section here with all their little social icons and everything, so it looks really cool and matches the rest of the site, so I really like that. And then you saw the counter up there. So in the last section here on the home page is the Contact Us section, and honestly, I don't think we're going to use this, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and remove this altogether. So I'm going to go to the Contact Us and then delete the Show This section. So you can change it up if you want. You can add a contact form 7, which I'll show you later. But in my case, I just want to keep it really clean and simple, so we're not going to use that. So there's my basic home page, and that's going to take the longest, so don't be afraid. The rest of the site will be shorter and quicker. The last thing you're going to do is go to widgets, and then you're going to change the footer here. So all these footer sections you have, we're going to add different things to those. So if you go to add a widget for the first sidebar here, you can use any of these widgets, not just the ILD ones. And honestly, I wouldn't even use those because you can use basic WordPress widgets. So for example, if I do custom menu, I can go ahead and put a menu in this row right here. So I'm going to do menu 1. And there's my main menu showing in the footer. If I write something like pages up here, it'll give it a title. So there's my first row. The second row, do like any of these I could do, but I think I'll do maybe a, how about a search? Let's do a search in the middle. Although that might, yeah, that looks kind of funny. Again, you can mess around with this and try different widgets and see what looks good for you. That's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm just showing you kind of the process. If I add some text, I can say something in here, or you can just add a blank text box like this, and it will leave it blank in the footer. So whatever you decide. So this last column, I'm going to see if the search bar looks good here. Not really. I prefer a simple footer, so you can add whatever you want. I think I'm just going to delete all of these here and let me just try one more thing. So that added 2 blank rows right here and then just pages, but I think I just want to keep it simple, so I'm going to go ahead and delete all these and just make it a really simple footer. Again, you can use text and just make the whole thing blank, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that way it's just the copyright. So you're probably wondering how to remove this theme part, right? Because you don't want people to know that you use that theme. If you go back to General Options at the top and you go to the footer details where you added the copyright, you simply uncheck this box here and it'll take off the theme copyright there. And they allow that, which is great because some themes don't. So you go ahead and save that. And there you have it. Your whole front page is done. Your design is, your design is done. And we don't need that. Just double checking. Okay. So now our whole section should be completed.